Hi, everyone, and welcome to a review of the new features in the newest release 8.10. Thank you guys for joining us. I know this is a bit of a different format and that we're doing it not in the normal group setting. So due to the holidays, we figured it would be a little easier to do this when we had some time and make sure that everyone still received all of the information. We'll continue to do December's in a similar format. In January, we will be back in person, having our similar webinar format where everyone can start to ask questions and answers. But as always, if you do have any questions, go ahead and reach out to us at info@sheltly.org, and we'll make sure to be able to respond to you even while everyone's busy zooming around with the holidays. Well, with that done, let's hop right into it. So one of the first features that I want to cover with everyone here today is that the way you kind of navigate into Shelterly has changed a little bit. So the login page, exactly the same. You're still going to use your email and your password to log in. Once you log into your page there, you'll notice that the organization page has just changed a little bit. You still have this drop down with the list of your organizations, but there used to be a select button right here. So you would select an organization from the list, and that would then allow you to go into the organization by clicking the button. You no longer have to do that. Now you can just open your organization, click on the organization you want to go into, and it'll drop you right in. Similar on the incident selection page is you now don't have a select incident button. You have just the ability to click onto an incident. It'll drop you right in. Consequence of that for people that are doing admin things is that the ability to manage the incident, there used to be an edit incident button for admins, that has now moved inside of this new page called Manage Incidents. So we're going to hop into Manage Incidents. Here is a list of all of your incidents that you have set up, the start date, so on and so forth. Each incident now has an update incident button. That's the same as the edit button. And that'll take you and allow you to change all of the information on a specific incident, as well as creating a new one is now inside of this menu. So all the functionality is roughly the same. We're just trying to organize the UI for the average user to be a little bit more streamlined. So I'm going to hop back in and we're going to hop into an incident itself. Once you're here, this looks about the same. You still got your incident description. One thing that I do want to point out, a lot of people didn't even know this was a feature, is you can actually subscribe to receive email notifications of when a new service request is created or when a new field assignment is created. Those used to be little icons at the top here. There was a little bell icon. That has now migrated into your profile page. So if I go into my profile, you'll now see you have subscribed to hotline notifications and subscribe to dispatch notifications. And both of those will then allow you to receive emails when those things happen. I don't recommend most people turning this on. This generally just helps if somebody's trying to monitor an incident remotely or just is doing some testing scenarios to make sure during a training that they're getting information of every time one of those is created. But just so people are aware, that's where that functionality has migrated to. I want to show another kind of cool feature we've added on the dispatch map. So we added a couple months ago these colors that help you to kind of differentiate the different calls. The thing that we did now is sometimes because we're using random colors, the colors can end up somewhat similar. These are somewhat similar colors. So sometimes it's hard to tell. And so what we did is now when you hover over one of these, we put little red dots, if you can see the little pins on the left-hand side, indicating which service requests are part of that dispatch, which is great. Let's say, for instance, this address that we still needed to pick up a trap or there were some additional tasks. Historically, this request, because all the animals were sheltered, would actually get closed. In this case, we're going to shelter all these animals. I'm going to mark visit as complete, and it's still going to ask, it's going to kind of help us and say, hey, we want to close this, but you can actually tell it now to stay open. If there's additional work, if we need to pick up equipment, typically we were keeping service requests open only if an animal was still present, but now we can instead, I'm going to turn this off and say, hey, there is a cat trap around the backside that needs pickup on, today is the 4th, so we'll say that's getting picked up tomorrow. Now we can mark this as complete. It's still trying to close it, but we're going to tell it to stay open. And we're going to go with a default follow-up date of tomorrow. Now, in this instance, this is no longer high priority. It's going to be low, but this will allow us to keep this service request open but also take the animals and shelter them. So as I click save here, it will then pop back out. And there we go. So now that one is ready to go for the next time. So all those animals have been sheltered, but it'll stay open and its next follow-up date will pop out and show up on your map in the future. So just kind of a cool tip to be able to keep service requests open even after you're dealing with all the animals. Another feature that we added is we wanted people to be able to reuse their evacuation team members as volunteers. So if I go in here, we can see we have Mike Jones was the one servicing this call. Now, when we do a hotline call, Mike Jones, it actually shows up as one of our reporters automatically. So whenever you add a new evac team member, they're going to show up as a possible reporter. And so inside here, we're going to go into the non-owner calling. We'll put in the address that he went to. But as a reporter, I can look for Mike Jones here, and there he is, and he shows right up away. And we can use him over and over. And so when your field teams are calling in animals that they're seeing out in the field, it makes it easier to consolidate and just reuse that person. We were ending up with a lot of duplicates, and it was hard to connect that an evac team had done that work. So now every time you make an evac team member, they will automatically be created as a reporter that you can use inside any of our reporter workflows. So great new feature there as well. I'm going to back out. The last one that I wanted to show you has to do with the ability to mark animals as public. So I've got an animal already here. This is animal number 95. This animal is currently sheltered. It was brought in by Abe Green here. So we have a found location. This was found in Santa Rosa. It's currently at this other high school shelter location. When you have this state, you can now, in the actions menu, there's a mark animal as public. And what this will do is I'll click it. It says, hey, are you sure? Yep, I am very sure. And it'll create a public record for that animal. So if you click this, this becomes a link that can be shared out to the public. So I'm going to open that link. And all this is a page with some basic information about the animal. There's no information about where it was found, but it does have the picture. And this can be passed out if somebody calls and says, hey, I'm missing a beagle. In this case, you could send this picture to them, and they can let you know over the phone right now, hey, that looks like my dog. That doesn't look like my dog. In the future, and in fact, in the next release, there'll actually be a publicly facing portal for people to search through these animals. In the current release, it's just these static pages that you can hand out to individuals. It'll tell you the organization as well as the incident that that animal is part of, but no additional information is going out. So when you mark that animal as public, it's only going to expose the species, this picture, the sex, primary, secondary color, and which incident or organization. Nothing about owner information, no PII, none of that is going out with the dog or the animal itself. Now, if I hop back, we have another feature that will be released slowly over time, but I just want to give you guys a preview because we've been working closely with Petco Love Lost and being able to integrate into their tool, which is phenomenal. And so if you have, and currently they have some restrictions on which animals are supported, but the animals that are supported right now are dogs and cats. Caveat, you do need to make sure that the picture that you have is of a dog. If you say the species is a dog, it does kind of block us and not take that data. But right now, this animal has already been marked public. Once it has a public record and it's a dog and you have been getting access to the Petco Love Lost feature inside your organization, which will be limited as people are starting to come on board, but I just wanted to again show you to it. You'll be able to mark this animal public on Petco Love Lost. So now this says, hey, are you sure you want to do that? I click yes. It's going to send over the picture as well as the found location, as well as the species information over to Petco Love Lost. It takes a little bit of time for them to receive that information. Once that's done here, there we go. Once that's done, you'll actually be able to click these links to search an image search. So what Petco Love Lost is doing is they're scraping the internet for pictures of animals from Facebook, from Nextdoor, all these locations, and it's going to try to match the picture you just sent to any of those social media pictures. as well as you can do a proximity search, allowing you to search for all of the animals that have been reported lost in the area that this animal was found. I'm going to skip that version just for time, but I do want to show you that what I'm able to do is come in as a user. What I've done is said, hey, I actually lost my dog. And this is the picture I provided them, which was just a picture of the dog's head. And Petco Love Lost is actually using their algorithm the other way to match to the animals that we've reported. And we have a find here. And so this is me acting like somebody from the public saying, I heard about Petco Love Lost. I want to see if they can find my dog. I put in a picture of just the face of my dog, and it found the record we just created. So this is a pet reported by user on Shelterly. So this is the data that we sent to them. If somebody is on the site and they click this, it is going to take you to, going to redirect us here real quick. And that is actually going to take you back to that public facing record page that I was showing you as well. In continuation of what I was discussing before, this page will also ultimately end up with a claim button that allows you to kind of say, hey, I think this might be my dog, and enter some of your basic information, allowing your reunification teams to start to connect those dots. So again, this is kind of the first phase. This is the beta release and just limited audiences, but expect to see this early next year in full implementation as we continue our integration with Petco Love Lost. So those are just some of the bigger features that I just wanted to cover quickly with us in this shorter video. Fully expect another short video for any new features coming out in the 8.11 release. As always, there's more features tucked in Shelterly than we're able to talk about during these webinars. We just try to cover some of the bigger or more impactful ones. We're continuing to develop new features each and every release to make sure that this product is as usable and as useful as possible for all of us actually out there in the field doing this work. So thanks again for watching this video. Normally I say for joining us, but we're just for watching today. Again, lastly, if you have any questions or concerns, make sure that you do email us at info@shelterly.org and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your holidays. We've made it through Thanksgiving, so we can make it all the way through Christmas, and we'll see everyone at the beginning of next year. Thank you. Bye.